here. We'll start in a few minutes.
Yeah, I think you guys have to see this project. I mean, or is it like I was talking about? I mean, right now in the Web3 space, there really isn't like a fully fledged game like this right now. You know, we see a lot of card games, and I think the closest we've really seen to anything that's like maybe mini nations, but I mean, even then, there's still quite a way to go, and I think with the Web 2, Web 3 sort of bridging is going to be interesting.
Let's wait a couple of more minutes and then start.
I mean, the thing I really like about the project is the fact that it's a very low barrier to entry for most people because right now in the Web3 space, the average entry cost for most of these high-end projects are, several $100s, thousands of dollars, right? But I think with what you guys are doing here, um, the whole free-to-play aspect, but also the cosmetic play, I mean, it's kind of opens it up to anyone. Like even people in the, Southeast Asia, Latin America, you know, most of them are kind of cut off and have to be scholars for projects. But with this in case, I mean, it's very like low barrier to entry for most people, like price wise.
Yeah,
And I
exactly.
think
I
that's gonna
agree. I
like
agree with
really,
that.
yeah. And then with the mobile integration in the future too, just on the roadmap, like, I mean, yeah. Because I mean, there's games like Phantom Galaxy right now where you need PC to play it, right? But it's also quite expensive for most people. So I think having something like this is going to really change things up, and the fact that things are kind of ready to be shipped out. So, oh, are you guys? Do you also have like a recording so you can like upload the replay on your YouTube channel later, Viddy?
Yeah. We have a YouTube channel. Sure, we'll upload the replay and we'll probably do a recording of
Mm,
this AMA session. So we'll post a recap
mm,
tomorrow. So everyone, so I think there are some key things we need to figure out next time. So I think it might be
mm.
a bit late for our Asian community right now. We have a lot of guys from Asia, and
Yeah.
it's a bit late for them now. So maybe next time we'll do a bit earlier this AMA session. But
Mm,
uh, so right now, as we uh, approaching the NFT mint, we'll do more of these AMA sessions. So
mm.
we'll slowly build up our confidence in that. Uh, Here's your turn.
Yeah. I guess we're ready. Cool. All right. So, right, hey everyone. So my name is Jaxie Wig. Some of you guys know who I am. I'm Bots Fighter's gaming advisor here, and in this AMA, we're just going to talk about the project along with the gaming guild package we have right now. So if you take a look at the game footage running in the background, we're going to have it running while we do this AMA, and in the end, we'll open up the voice chat so people can ask questions, and we hope to see you guys stick around.
All right, indeed, we have a very special AMA session today. My name is Vadim. I'm the founder and creative director at Boss Fighters, and our host today is Jack Seweek, our good friend and game advisor. I'm delighted to answer your questions today. Let's roll it out.
All right, so I guess the first thing is just talk about a little bit about yourself and your background and your journey in development.
Sure. Uh, I'm talking constantly about that recently because I'm speaking with a lot of VCs. So I'm an experienced studio head, entrepreneur, software and game producer. I'm CEO and creative director at Boss Fighters. I've been working in computer graphics and game development for almost 10 years right now. I began my career essentially as a 3D artist, slowly building up my skills over a decade, being in different positions like VFX artist, 3D animator, 3D generalist, and product director. Eventually, I founded two companies, Pixel Studios, one of our companies, it is entirely dedicated to graphical assets, outsourcing, and production for games, commercials, VFX, and some virtual production as well. The other company is a VR development studio where we have created many VR business and educational applications. And this is where my team's VR development background comes from.
Okay. So yeah, I guess tell us a little bit more about the team behind the project.
Yeah, so I think one of the strongest features of our project is the team I'm working with for many years already. So unlike some other crypto gaming projects, which first do the fundraising and then they start to look for the devs, we've already been working on Boss Fighters for 9 months, long before we went public. And basically, the core team of Boss Fighters is the guys who've been working on those VR applications and graphics production for many years in our other companies. And of course, when we started Boss Fighters, we also expanded our team with game designers, UX designers, QA professionals. We also have blockchain developers for Solana, full stack developers. So everyone who we need to hit the roadmap goals we set for ourselves.
Okay. And what are some of the projects that you guys have worked on before Boss Fighters?
Yeah, my team had, and I had a chance to work on multiple projects during these years. So there were many AAA titles, indie games, business applications. So to be more specific, our technical and weapons designer, he worked on Stalker and Metro Exodus. These are really big series of shooters. So you might expect pretty cool gunplay in our game. Our VR designer is a winner of multiple VR hackathons. He designed and shipped several VR games. And our environment artists worked on AAA titles, also Metro Exodus, World of Tanks, Life is Feudal. We also worked on VR games like Against and Stride. These are quite new, and we have some guys from this team and our art director, Camila, she worked for 4 years in Gameloft. This is one of the biggest game development studios in the world, and she worked on top projects for more than 4 years there. So we have a pretty solid team here, and I work with these people for many years right now. So as I said, this is the biggest the biggest point, and I think the biggest advantage we have right now. And I myself, as a crypto investor, uh, as a producer, I worked as a CTO on several blockchain projects. There were private projects in 2017, 2018. So I did a bit of development, mining, etc. So I have
Mhm.
uh, some decent background in blockchain as well.
And where did the idea for Boss Fighter come into place?
Yeah, I've been dreaming about a VR game since we started our own VR development company 5 years ago. For several years, I've been working on the concept. I knew it should be an action multiplayer game with a full body motion for the VR player. And when the COVID pandemic struck and the lockdown began, I had a chance to play lots of VR games at home. And I found several asymmetric VR games, and I was really captivated by the concept. So I realized that this kind of asymmetric concept is really beneficial, is really cool for the game because it allows you to expand your player base. You're not limited only to the VR. You basically get the best of two worlds. So last year, with the advent of whole play turn games, we saw an opportunity to bring something new to the space, and that's how the Boss Fighters project was born. I think the best path to go with the innovative product as we have it today is to go to crypto space. And yeah, we saw this opportunity to create something unique, and we're delighted to see so much support even at this early stage of our journey.
And I suppose, as far as the current game mechanics go, and I think a lot of people have asked this before, how does Boss Fighter differ from these other games we're seeing right now in the space?
Yeah, that's easier to say where Boss Fighters is similar to other games in the space uh, than where it differs. So there's a lot to unpack here. First of all, Boss Fighters is an asymmetric multiplayer competitive game that matches VR players against PC players, flat screen players as we call them. And it is the first metaverse built as an action-packed and fun asymmetric VR versus PC gaming experience on the blockchain Solana. It has never been seen before on the Web3 space. So uh, last year, as we saw lots of play-to-earn games go live and flop, in my opinion, because they didn't have any actual and meaningful engaging gameplay. So most of them tried to replicate X Infinity formula, and they did not offer any innovation, any new stuff. So that's what we challenge with Boss Fighters. We stand for the gameplay first approach and believe that NFT games and overall this ownership aspect will become popular among the general gaming community only when players start caring for the game they play. So that's why we focusing a lot on the gameplay, on the physics aspect, on the shooting mechanics. Uh, so we want you to have fun playing the game, and so players will care about NFT games not because they can earn cash, because they like the game in the first place. That's what I believe, and I think that's what we'll see in the coming years. And Boss Fighters also greatly differs from other metaverse and VR projects, being an action and physics-based game. So there is a good reason for that. If you check Steam, you'll find that most of the top-rated VR titles are all action games. So there are some metaverse and VR projects in the space right now, but all of them uh, they represent this slow-paced, more creative side approach, and I actually don't believe in that very much because for the VR side, for the VR experience, you need to have a really fun and fast-paced experience to be engaging. So you won't spend 6 or 8 hours in the VR headset, uh, walking around and looking at nice NFTs. What you want to do in VR, you want to play a game, you want to have some action because VR gives uh, so much more potential for the player than normal flat screen games. And this is what we are trying to explore here. And another big feature of the boss fighters that we're currently working on. So we don't want it to be a Web3 exclusive project because that will limit our player base. Instead, we are now looking at ourselves as a Web2 game with a host of NFT and crypto options on top of a solid and unique game features. So that means that Boss Fighters will be a free-to-play game published on major gaming stores with token and NFT features added on top to expand and deepen the play experience and unlock play to earn opportunities. And so to ensure the asset scarcity, we're developing a seasonal system. This means that every season will last for a limited amount of time and will feature a set of specific rewards. Only so many of these rewards can be generated during the season, and once it's over, the only way to get those items is to buy them on the secondary marketplace. So this is also uh, one of the big features we're developing right now.
Hmm. I think one of the questions I also get is, you have to have VR to play this game.
No, not really. So you can play as a fighter without any VR device. So being a flat screen player means that you can play with your PC. But if you want to be a boss, you have to use a VR headset like HTC Vive, Valve Index, HP Reverb, or use Oculus Quest with the Oculus Link cable or Oculus Air Link feature. Uh, so essentially, you would need to use a tethered VR headset until we make a port to a native Oculus Quest support to run it in standalone mode. This is quite a technical endeavor, and it is on the roadmap, but it will come later. But for the fighter experience, for the flat screen players, if you want to play as a fighter, you will soon be able to do it on PC, and later on, you will be able to do it on mobile phones. So it is on the roadmap as well.
Hmm. And let's talk about the upcoming NFT mint. So, do players have to have these NFTs to access the game? And what do NFT owners get apart from having cool pictures for their profile?
Yeah, being a free-to-play game means that anyone can play the game. Boss Fighters is a free-to-play game in that regard. However, NFT owners, they are being essentially our early adopters, they'll get lots of benefits. So we're introducing a thing called Premium Pass Program, which is essentially a set of free subsequent NFT collections. So in a few weeks, on April 10th, we're doing the mint for very first NFT collection, the Boss Fighters Club NFT. So these are some benefits you get from owning these NFTs. So they're all laid out in the light paper, in the Medium articles. I'll just go quickly over them. So first of all, owners can get free collectible NFTs as the Boss Fighters metaverse expands. So this means new gear and cosmetic item drops. Uh, the other thing we want to introduce, we want to do a VR headset raffle. So there will be a limited amount of VR headsets, Oculus Quest headsets, and we want to do sort of a giveaway or a raffle, and everyone who owns an NFT gets a chance to get a VR headset. There will be quite an amount of those VR headsets, so not one, not five, not 10, but a big amount. So you'll get a chance to get your VR headset to join the battle on the boss side. Uh, there will be a direct access to developers in the private Discord channel, and there will also be a community royalties treasury access. So half of all secondary market sales, I think they are 5% royalties. So half, it's 2.5%, will go to a special community treasury, and you will be able to claim those rewards uh, monthly. I think monthly basis. Yes, we're working on this system right now. On top of that, the biggest feature that comes with these NFTs, it is an exclusive access to special tournaments, which will feature unique rewards and token prize pools. So essentially, by having this NFT, you get a special game mods unlocked that will allow you to earn in-game tokens. So the total supply for the NFT Boss Fighters Club is 6,500. The mint price on pre-sale is 1.25 SOL and 1.5 SOL on public sale. The whitelist grants you one mint at a discounted price, so it's 125 SOL. And the mint will happen on the newly launched Sol Razor INO platform. The pre-sale happens on 20th of April, and the public mint will happen on 22nd of April.
Mhm. And what about the gaming guilds? Because it seems like the team wants to onboard a lot of these, guilds onto the platform. So, what is the gaming guild package?
Yeah. So exactly, we are a gaming project first, and we want to onboard as many players as possible. I think that's hugely beneficial for the long-term success of the product because this way we're getting not only investors but actual players that want to play the game, and that's why we put together this gaming guild package offer. So here's what you get with the gaming guild package. So 10 Boss Fighters Club NFTs, one Arena Stars NFT, which is from the subsequent collection, part of the premium pass. You get also a whitelist for the Big Bad Boss collection. It is the third and the final collection of the character avatars. Apex NFT collection that will feature boss avatars and huge in-game and off-game benefits. On top of that, buyers get a guaranteed public round allocation worth of 250 bucks of boss fighters tokens. So the Arena Stars NFT, the second NFT collection that I mentioned, uh, it's coming right after TGE. So there was a short sneak peek of that. I think it is in the light paper. Yeah, you can check it out. So shortly after TGE, Token Generation event, for those who don't know, this abbreviation, we will open up staking pools for the players to start staking tokens and earning rewards prior to the early access launch. And one of the features will be staking to get these Arena Stars NFTs. Essentially, you stake tokens with a lockup period, a certain amount of them, and you get airdropped these Arena Stars NFT. There will be a limited amount of those as well. And there will be no other way to get them other than through staking. Arena Stars, they are character avatars just like Boss Fighters Club, but they also unlock additional in-game features. Things like team management, passive soft currency yield, and others. So basically, by purchasing the Gaming Guild package, you're getting lots of features in advance without a need of staking tokens later. And don't forget that character avatars cannot be received as in-game rewards. They are scarce, and they will not be generated anymore after the mint. And yeah, another big bonus that I mentioned is that there is this guaranteed public grant allocation. So the price per token is 3 cents with a 30% unlock at TGE.
Cool, cool, cool. And what about the tokenomics? So how can players earn by playing in this game?
Yeah, the game, as I said, is essentially free to play. So any gear can be purchased or earned with in-game soft currency. However, for players who wish to embrace the advantages of Solana, blockchain technology, the ownership aspect, they will be able to monetize their success by minting their rewards as NFTs and then using those rewards on in-game marketplace to sell them, to trade them. So essentially, how it works. Uh, you get the rewards for playing the game. Let's say you get the gear, you get the cosmetic item, the decoration for your weapon, or the character, uh, everything like that. And then you have an option, so you can still play with that, and nothing will happen to these items. But then you can choose a crypto path, and you can mint those rewards as NFTs. And by minting those rewards as NFTs, you get the ownership and you can start trading them and start earning. And with the seasonal system that I mentioned before, uh, the rewards that are earned during a specific season, they will not be generated anymore during other seasons. So you get some rewards, maybe rare cosmetic items, maybe rare gear. You mint them as NFTs and you trade them. On top of that, players can use token staking to unlock some advanced game mods and features in game. So let's say you don't want to grind your way through this free-to-play features. You want to have soft currency passive income. For that, you would need to stake tokens into a special staking pool. We call this advanced stake pools. Each of these advanced stake pools opens up a certain game feature. Uh, there will be a special stake pool that opens up at tournaments. Tournament unlocks the tournament mod, where players compete for large token prize pools, and the prize pools will be really big. So it might be 20k or 25k worth of tokens. So, and overall, we see four main avenues that users can go to monetize their playtime and rewards in boss fighters. We call them play to earn, create to earn, hold to earn, and watch to earn. So play to earn, it's pretty straightforward. You play the game, as I said, you win some rewards like gear or cosmetic items, you mint them as NFTs, and then you trade them on a marketplace. So the tournaments on top of that, and league battles where teams compete for token prize pools. There will be community organized tournaments and sponsorship tournaments. So we want to restrict the token usage for some advanced modes. So this way we can also keep the free-to-play part on Steam safely, and we have having those Web3 features built on top on a separate platform. Creator, it is a creator program that we would like to introduce later. So this encompasses lots of things like streaming, YouTubing, creating assets like avatars and arenas, and we want to reward all of this. This will take some time to implement. So once we build and polish the tools that we're using right now for development, we definitely will release them to the community so the community can start utilizing them to contribute to the project development, which will also increase our community size, the quality of the project. That's what we want to reward as well. Hold to earn, these are features related to staking tokens and to get different rewards. So uh, those can be a passive token yield, soft currency yield, gear and cosmetic NFT drops, things like that. Watch to earn is another cool feature we're working on. It's a quite tricky one, so we are exploring several features we might implement here. The core idea behind Watch to earn is to reward spectators and therefore increase our community size. So boss fighters' gameplay and mechanics and visuals are designed in a way to create cohesive and fun gaming experience, which will be a spectacle in itself. So what you're seeing right now on the background, it's just a glimpse of what comes. It's still draft visuals. There will be much more detailed, much more polished visuals for the arena, cool animations, etc. So essentially, we want to build the game in a way that it is a spectacle in itself. And this will promote and this will drive the demand from the community to create the visuals, to post videos on YouTube, on TikTok. This will increase our community greatly. And we want to uh, reward our community for being active. So these are features that are considered right now to become part of Watch Turn. One of them is advertising and renting screens on the arena to get ad revenues. So let's say you own this special spectator pass and you get some cut of this advertising revenues. There will also probably be an ownership of battle arenas in the form of NFTs to get a percentage of rewards. There will be probably some kind of routing for players and teams in tournaments uh, using the tokens to get a cut of the prize pool. On top of that, we are looking closely to the streaming service API, like Twitch API, with a spectators pass feature that will allow you to interfere in battle in special game modes, which adds a lot of depth to the game, and it's just a really cool feature to explore. So, think of Hunger Games when you drop weapons for the favorite players or for the boss. So the Watchtower is unlocked through a spectator's pass. It will be a special role provided with the NFT ownership of staking tokens to a special pool. It's still in development, so we'll announce it later.
Cool. And as far as the boss fighter token goes, what is the main utility for it?
Yeah, here's how it works. We got rid of the double token system we had in mind initially, and now we have only one utility token, BFT. So in boss fighters, players can choose either to be a free-to-play user, use soft currency, maybe even use fiat currency to speed up their progress. But taking a crypto route speeds up your progression, and it is more beneficial to be a crypto user. It unlocks multiple benefits with the BFT token. So these are some features that unlocked via staking into special those advanced stake pools. First of all, it's a soft currency passive income. If you don't want to grind, you can stake tokens and get the soft currency passive income. You can speed up your gear upgrade times. We will have a gear upgrade system. There will be 5 levels. Each level needs to be upgraded, and it takes time to upgrade. And the level 5 takes a lot of time to upgrade. So by staking tokens, you get it sped up a lot. And this is also a way you can leverage on that. You can list on a marketplace fully upgraded gear item, which took you a long time to do, and there will be a demand for that. You can get regular gear and cosmetic item airdrops. You get minting discounts for upcoming NFT collections with the staking. So this is what I mentioned for the Arena Stars NFT. get basically for free for staking tokens. You get reduced marketplace fees. You might get some unique skins and player customization options for staking tokens. The whole feature with teams with that is designed for gaming guilds is unlocked with the token staking. So the ability to create and manage teams, to do a scholarship, options to rent NFTs, all of these features are unlocked through the token staking. You get this tournament access at competitions with a large token prize pools. You get ranked mode access with a token prizes as well, and you get this watch to earn and spectators pass. And on top of that, you basically get standard passive token yield when you stake. So as you might see in other projects.
Mhm. And as far as the current roadmap, what stage of the development process are you at right now, and when will we be able to play with our NFTs?
Yeah, we're as you can see, we're testing playable builds with solidified controls, combat mechanics, and other core features. And there is a lot of stuff happening in the background. So this video footage, it is recorded from the old build, I think. Yeah, old build. I can see that the background is still old, and there are no weapons right now in this build, but they are in development. So that will grant us scalability, stability, and also anti-cheat protection, which is crucial for a competitive game that we are building. You will see soon lots of new features, uh, like the boss arsenal. There will be weapons for the boss, and also new weapons for fighters and new equipment. Things like hooks for fighters to traverse environment, uh, new weapons like sticky bombs, rocket launchers, rail guns for fighters. Too. There's lots of stuff happening in the background, and we don't want to spoil you right now. But closer to the TGE, uh, all of this will be revealed. The team is also in the process of redesigning the battle arena to its final shape. So you might already seen some updates to the arena background, but we will update arena visuals drastically before the early access release. So the NFT mint comes in late April. It's 20th of April. Uh, as I said, 22nd it's public mint. Uh, so
Hmm.
IDO, we want to do IDO on May or early June, and the TG. So right after that, we will open up staking pools so players and investors can start staking for rewards. As I mentioned, those Arena Stars NFTs will be accessible only through staking. And shortly after that, we will transition to early adopters closed alpha mode. So we want you to play with your character avatars ASAP, right after TGE, but it's still a few months plus before that.
And last question is, before we open it up to everyone else, is there any exclusive information you can share with the community today? And Leon, if you can get the replay up again.
Yeah, so we have a seed round starting next week with our incubator Launchpool Labs. There will also be another AMA there, mostly dedicated to the token, to the fundraising, etc. And be on fourth. The seed round opens up next week. We will also have private round opened for KOs and gaming guilds with a 10k minimum ticket allocation. So we want to onboard as many gaming guilds to the private round as well. As I mentioned, we want players, we want guilds. I'll post the application form for the SAFT after the AMA session. We will also be doing a live play test with the gaming guild package buyers next week. So don't miss this exclusive opportunity to get your hands on the game even before early access. So the way to do is we will raffle the Steam keys for those who buy in the Gaming Guild package, and we'll do live play tests. In the meantime, I encourage you to take a look at the official white paper There's a lot to unpack, and we are open to constructive feedback. So you can find this on the official website.
Mm-hmm. Great. We can now open up the community questions. So if you guys have any questions about the project, go ahead and I guess tag the team in the Ask Team channel. Yes, if you can like tag him there.
Yeah, you can post your questions in Ask Team, and I think Guildmaster role can speak directly.
Oh,
Guildmaster and Guardian role can speak. Please confirm, Eugene, that it's true. So I would like to hear some questions.
Yeah, I have a few questions actually.
Sure, go ahead.
So first of all, as we know, like VR is still not low entry in general. Like even VR chat has like an all-time peak of 50,000 players maybe. And I know from the CMA that you are having like the fighters do not need VR, the free-to-play aspect. It's actually a low entry point game, but initially when you look at it and how it's marketed, there's a lot of emphasis on the VR, and the bus gameplay seems really fun and all that. So how do you plan on having adoption if VR is already like niche in the real world due to the pricing? And on top of that, you're in cryptocurrency.
Yeah, that's a good question. That's why we decided to go the free-to-play route. Because there are a lot of games on Steam that with the VR with a big player base, like you mentioned, VR chat, it is there, and VR chat has an option without being a VR actually, so you can play VR chat without VR. But for our game, we really want to have this VR boss as a main character. So the entry point for VR actually it's right now it's not that high. So Oculus Quest it's $300, the cheapest VR device you can get. Once we done the transition, we done porting for the Oculus Quest, you will be able to play just for the $300. Right now, in the early access, you would need to have somewhat moderate PC to play it. Yes, so we need 1060 to play, but the tech requirements, spec will be quite low for the game. We're aware that we need to target low-end devices and mobile devices as well to play as fighters. But another key point here is with the marketing and the possibilities that we can get from the crypto side, from the VCs, from the community, we might have much bigger options for the marketing push of this game. So most of the VR projects, the small indie studios, just like us, they don't have enough marketing power and to promote their game. And we're hoping with the crypto community, with the VCs, we are onboarding with a big community-driven fundraisers like Engine Starter. It is our partner. It is entirely gaming focused, and they are actually transitioning to sort of a game publisher model. So they will help us a lot with promoting the game. So I think we're quite safe here. Let's see how it goes. But yeah, we thought about this things and the design decisions we made are exactly targeting this issue. So we need as broad of the player base as possible. So this is why we're going free to play and we're bridging to Web3 to crypto on top of that. So it's not a prerequisite.
Yep, I understand. My only thing is that, when you say $300 for a VR headset for someone who wants to play the boss, right? In Web3, maybe that's a low entry point, but like in real life, even millionaires, when they want to buy a MacBook and they see $1,500, it's a lot more than 0.3 Ethereum, psychologically speaking. So the thing is, like, is it the final decision to make it only VR for the buses, or will there be eventually options for PC? Because as you said, like VR chat has an option for PC for the main gameplay. You access the entire gameplay. The VR is just more control.
Yeah, so it is quite a challenge to create the game for PC in VR. So we have an internal testing mode to play the boss on PC, but it's not as fun as it looks like here. And on top of that, we have this play to earn system. So you can earn playing the game, and when you earn playing the game, you eventually can earn some money to buy a VR headset. So we will encourage this as well. There will be options for this is the whole thing with the watch to earn. So we want our players to earn to bring more value to the community, and we want to reward them as well. So right now we're pretty much confident that we are not going to change the VR boss is the main character because it sells the game basically. It's the most unique feature you get with the project, and we don't want to be shy of that and move away from that.
That's fair enough.
No, I think the other thing you also have to remember is they're also thinking ahead, a couple years down the line, right? Because I think a lot of the projects we're seeing in the space right now are just trying to entertain the audience of today. But the way they're kind of, boss fighters positioning themselves is, you remember VR headsets used to be a lot more expensive than $300 a couple years back. And, um, in the future, it may be a lot more cheaper, right? So I think its position. And also, because they are pushing this play and earn model, even though it might be say $300 today, people can start using that to also earn money playing the game. It does kind of like in a way pay for itself if the players are really good, right? So yeah, so I think the concern of the VR, it is understandable, but I do see them thinking a lot forward, like where will the audience be in a couple years and kind of positioning themselves early, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, finding that balance is important, and as long as the core game loop is fun and the game is addictive, replayable, and crypto earnings are like, realistic for purchasing a VR headset at some point, then yeah. I'll let someone else ask questions because I have way too many, so I'm gonna be talking forever if I ask. Thank you for the answer.
Thank you for your question.
Hey guys, nice to meet you. Uh, my question is about the mint. There's been some concerns, at least my personal ones, and then some guys as well that I know raised that questions about the actual minting and the timing that we're in at the moment. And my concern is that regarding the people that are online on Discord, and at the moment, I think that I don't know. My personal opinion is that it's a bit tricky if we want to push them in so fast, since I am afraid that we won't be able to mint out. I'm not, negative, but I'm just trying to ask what you guys think about that and what would we do in the.
So
Yeah, great question.
there are actually launch pads that they're working with right now. So I think Engine Starter and Soul Razor just came on board, right? And we're talking to GameFi Red Kite right now, and then I think we're pushing for Seedify as well. So there are launch pads that are also going to be pushing the mint out, basically. So I think we'll start seeing that the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, we also have the big plan for the marketing push with KOLs, YouTubers. I think it's a 3 weeks plan, and what I'm looking at right now, it's more than 2 million reach of audience. So let's see how it goes. We'll start pushing big updates and working with KLs next week. Engine Starter will start promoting the project on their side next week. Launchpool will do this as well next week. And we have, as Jaxi said, so we have Cityfy coming on board probably. So we have some calls with them. And Soulraiser, yeah, Soulraiser has a really big community, more than 100K, and there will be also an AMA sessions. So I totally understand your concerns, but as it works with the NFT space, we need to save our time and resources for the big push in the last couple of weeks, and we coming closer to that time. So let's see how it goes in the next few weeks. But yeah, I'm aware that this is my goal. So we need to sell out those NFTs to make everyone happy, basically. So let's see how it goes. But we have a lot of things planned in the coming weeks.
Awesome, yeah. Thanks for your answers. Yeah, I was just wondering what are the plans in the future, because it's the game and the project itself and the idea is really one of a kind, and that's why I'm just wondering if you guys are prepared for any circumstances that might arise. So yeah, thanks for the
We're
answer.
here for the long run. Yeah, we're here for the long run, and we want to create this game. We want to visualize. We want to materialize our vision, and we really want you to have a taste of what we prepared for you. So, by the way, thanks for the question. I know that you're really one of the OGs on our server. Thanks for answering the question.
Yeah. Thanks for acknowledging. Yeah, I've been here for a while, and yeah.
I mean, also keep in mind, I think the way Boss Fighter is incentivizing content creators too is, if you we talked about the token utility as well. There are a couple content creators too on the AMA right now, but I think right now in the Web3 space especially, there really isn't a lot of incentives for content creator to create content, right? Because we're not seeing a lot of partnerships, right, with actual like games. But Boss Fighter is very open-minded about this, and we'll see. I think we'll start seeing more YouTubers and content creators coming on board into the ecosystem, pretty much. So I think it's going to be a lot. How should I say? I think it's going to be a lot more dynamic, sort of like relationships they'll have, and there are a lot of KOLs, wanting I think to come on board too. I think with like Metavest especially, they have pretty massive list too that they're reaching out to and organizing. So I think and the fact that this is not that it's like 100% polished yet, but I mean if you compare it to other projects in the space right now that are coming up and that's already around, I don't think we've really seen anything like this as of now. So I do see them having somewhat of a first mover advantage for the physics sides of this and the asymmetrical multiplayer mode.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. I think that you guys are way ahead of the competition, at least most of them at this moment, because in the projects that I'm in and the ones that I'm just interested in are still way behind regarding their end product, and it seems that like you guys are way ahead regarding that, and that's one big plus that Was Fighters have.
Okay, so any other questions? In the meantime, I'll share my screen with the engine opened. So here you can see the new arena in development. It's a new background for the arena. And the way we designed this, this kind of arena in the center of this futuristic cyberpunk city, this will allow us to create all kinds of stylized arenas. So we can do collaborations with other projects. Let's say we do a collab with Soul Chicks, do a collab with some other NFT big games or projects, and we can create a thematic arena inside this circle. So let me. Yeah, this is a new background.
This is one of the things.
Mhm.
I think that's one of the things I think that hasn't been discussed in the white paper yet. But yeah, advertising is going to be huge, I think, because they're pushing for this low barrier to entry with free to play. So other projects might, pay advertising fees to get like maps that are specifically kind of curated towards them. So with all the screens they have and all these pop-ups, I mean, imagine seeing like Citus or Solchix or pretty much any other game. You know what I mean? So there's, I think, much more bigger ecosystem draw from other projects to want to participate on the platform. But yeah, go on, Vadim.
Yeah, here how it works, how it plays the boss on the PC. So when you don't wear a VR headset, here's our internal testing for the boss, kind of exclusive footage for you guys. Right mouse button, it's right arm. Left mouse button, left arm. I can even crawl. Yeah, next week we'll have live play tests. We'll be sharing live footage from the headset directly. So for those who opt for the Gaming Guild package, don't miss this opportunity. So yeah, there is a lot of this physics stuff here we're designing. So everything you see here will be redesigned. These are still draft visuals, but the systems all work here. So as you can see, the physics works here. You can destroy stuff. You can tear down buildings. Everything works here. And later on, you will see the boss arsenal. So like laser cannon shoots giant laser from the arm. So what other things were flamethrower? I think we have in design. Yeah, seismic hammer. Yeah, those stuff you can find on the white paper. These are in development right now. So lots of stuff coming. And okay, any other questions?
I have
No,
another
if you have
one.
any more questions,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to ask, like, I think I heard you say like you would publish on Steam when you were talking about publishing on main game stores. Like, are you sure they would allow a crypto game there?
So there are ways to do this. There are some projects that use NFT crypto, even metaverse projects on Steam, and they are still on Steam. They're not banned there. And the way they do this, so you have this free-to-play system, free-to-play experience on Steam. We might even add fiat currency, like hard currency, so for general player audience to have some progression there. And you have basically a button in the launcher that brings you to the outside portal. So it brings you to the outside platform, like what we call a boss fighters hub, where you will have all the staking options, token claiming, marketplace, etc. So this is the way how we can do this. On top of that, there is an Epic Game Store. So they do not ban crypto games, and we're working to have them as well to be on Epic Game Store. So I think that's and on top of that, there is this Oculus Side Quest store, which is essentially not a curated store that Oculus has, but everyone can publish there. There are some projects with crypto that are already published there, and Oculus is the biggest selling VR headset right now. So there are multiple ways we can expand our player base by publishing our game these bigger platforms, and we want to use them all.
Got it. So if the front end is crypto only, then the game is okay. Cool.
Yeah. The front end is like free to play pretty much. So the soft currency is like what you earn that again playing the game, right? But into fiat options as well. But that also gives you a much more broader audience to reach, right? I mean, if you look at like, how Axie Infinity is launching Origins and they're trying to get it on all the stores, but they have to keep the you have to put limitations on the crypto side. So It's why they're pushing it. This is why this project isn't like 100% Web3, but it's more like Web2 with Web3 integration. So, because if you look at Steam, the games that they've pretty much hard were play to earn, where you can literally just mine crypto just playing the game, right? But with this, on the other hand, the earning side is very limited to closed events, pretty much. So it's not like you're earning like in the game, and that's why they also have these limitations on the free to play side, basically. So pretty much like the Epic Games and the Steam and all these other platforms are just ways to drive users to kind of play the game and also introduce them to Web3, right? So if they want to take advantage, learn more about the staking options and the extra benefits you have by having boss fighter tokens, the staking for the utility end of that, it's pretty much a funnel, pretty much, right? And I think that's how they're going to push for a much larger Web3 audience, rather advertising directly, like 100% to Web3, because I think there's limitations to those kind of projects as well currently, right? Because there's not that many Web3 gamers in this space right now compared to traditional gaming markets. So it's thinking ahead, right? And who knows in a couple of years, where do you think Facebook's going to be with their meta play, right? I mean, imagine in the future where Facebook 100% adopts NFT projects like onto their platform too, right? It's just pretty much just thinking ahead, like to think where the audience
Yeah.
is going to be in a couple of years.
We already see this. As you can see, Instagram, Twitter, everyone is implementing NFTs. The space is moving towards the NFT adoption, and the biggest players in the space are doing this. So I think the path is quite clear. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, we have a really good question here in the chat. Do you plan any kind of burning mechanism to stabilize the token price to avoid the SLP disaster? So the BFT token, it is a non-inflationary token. The supply is locked. It won't, and there will be no emission other than as programmed in a smart contract in terms of vesting. On top of that, we are exploring things in terms of burning tokens, as this is on our radar. There might be some features like unstaking fees. So if you, let's say you stake for a lockup period, several weeks or months, and if you wish to unstake the tokens, you get slashed some percentage. So we are aware of this feature, and this is the question of numbers, and we're working on the numbers right now. Once we figure them out, there will be a white paper release with all the details, all the numbers. We want to release it in the white paper, all these things. Yeah, I can see that you're typing right now. Yeah.
The soft currency, guys. Yeah, the soft currency is just an in-game currency, so it's not tradable. So kind of like Illuvium, right? You know how Illuvium has the S Illuvium tokens? What you're basically doing is when you stake boss fighter tokens, you earn a yield on those boss fighter tokens. You also get when Vadim talked about the passive income side, he means you're getting soft currency, which is in-game tokens.
Yeah.
And you can spend that to basically craft NFTs, additional items that are tradable on the NFT marketplace. So you have to earn the in-game tokens basically to create stuff to monetize. So it's why it's like 100% skill based basically. But if you decide to stake your tokens, you basically, depending on the lockup you're doing, it'll determine how much soft currency you're going to get, right? So you don't have to play like 100 matches to earn X amount of in-game currency. You can just stake boss fighter tokens and you'll get something like from that basically that you can then use in the game. So you don't have to play like 100 matches to earn X amount, right?
Right. All right. Do we have any other questions? So it's been an hour.
So Jade asked, will the marketplace use BFT or Solana?
The marketplace will use BFT. So this is another thing, another utility for the token. And that's important for the price of the token. So we need as many of the utilities for the token as possible. On the other hand, we still want to be a free-to-play, so yeah, the marketplace will use BFT. But the BFT can be converted on Radium for Solana.
Hey, L5, I actually have a copy of the Q&A I can send you, and there is going to be a recording. But basically, for guilds right now, this is pretty much an infrastructure play, right? Because, you know, if any of you guys are here running guilds, right? I think for the future of guilds, it's not going to be just how many NFTs you own and what sort of yield you get from it, but guilds are going to have to start expanding their to looking at infrastructure projects. So, you know, we talked about nodes and we talked about, you know, there's like IP in the space. And I think a lot of guilds will have to start transitioning towards it. Owning these NFTs basically get you a percentage of the marketplace fees. And if you know any projects right now that do that, they tend to do really, really well. An example is, I don't know if you guys have seen, I mean, look at like CyberKongs or Neo Tokyo or Imposters by Elio Trades and such, right? Like all these projects that have any sort of like IP towards like yield from an actual project tend to do really, really well. And because they're going to be capping the Genesis amount, right? It is I think a really good. It's undervalued, you know, but I think for boss fighters, it's really good to get in early. I'm not gonna, you know, trying to shill the project, right? But you know, the whole reason I came on board as an advisor for it is because I see that they're way ahead of the curve of all these other projects. Because we're really thinking where the project's going to be in 3 to 5 years, rather looking at how to attract the most players today. You know, looking at that angle, but also kind of thinking ahead is very important, right? Because if you look at all these other projects right now that are struggling in the Web3 right now, they're trying to entertain the audience today, which isn't bad, but you know, you have to think of like where things are heading, so you can kind of like anticipate how you want to position yourself. I mean, even Alex Becker, guys, you know, he made a lot of money because he was able to predict Facebook's upcoming changes with iOS. Like, I don't know if you guys know his Hyros product, but his SaaS company is valued at like several $100 million right now because he was able to predict all these privacy changes that came about with Facebook, right? So it's kind of the same thing. Is I do see Bossfighter, you know, with how agile the team is and how they're looking much further ahead of like massive NFT adoption, you know. And I don't really see a lot of the current projects in this space kind of like looking at in that direction. And it's a much more simpler project, right? Compared to what you see. So I think that's one of the bigger advantages is the fact that the gameplay here is very like 5-10 minutes, right? So it's not like an open world MMO. It's not like a you know nothing that's going to take too much time to kind of like deliver. It's like arena games, right? So I do see you know, getting first to market is very important, and I do see this happening pretty quickly, especially being on Solana.
Yeah, so great for answering this. So there is a question: would there be like a BFT allocation for each holder? Is there NFTs taken and lockup for period holder is not playing? So first question is BFT allocation for each holder. We have this special public round allocation reserved for gaming guild packages. So depending on how many guild packages we sell, right now it is all allocated to the gaming guild packages. We might consider doing sort of a allocation or maybe an airdrop prior to the TGE. So let's see how it goes. Right now, everything from the public round is allocated to the Gaming Guild package, and that's also another a big feature for Gaming Guild package. You essentially get by investing those $250 in BFT tokens on the listing price. Let's say if so even if it just stays at the same price, you get it back. You get this money back, and that's already a good thing to do. But as Jaxie said, it is a long-term investment. So I think that's a really good deal. For the staking, for the NFT staking, and the lockup for period holder is not plain. So we want to explore some of these things. So the NFT staking, I'm not ready right now to answer this question. Will this be a thing or not? So is this even necessary for what I want to say that there will be a lending system for NFTs for gaming guilds, because those NFTs are the only characters that are in the game, special characters with special appearance, until there will be a creator pass and created user created avatars. Those Genesis NFTs, Arena Stars NFTs, and Boss NFTs will be the only character avatars that ever exist in the game. So we'll see how it goes, and we need to figure out if there is a necessity in introducing this staking for the NFTs. All right, so I think we have time for one more question, and we need to wrap it up.
Yeah, maybe I missed it. Sorry, but I just want to ask. Being a gamer first, and then everything else. When will we be able to play? At least the beta. I mean, the first guys that will mint the NFTs. If I missed that, I'm sorry, but I'd just like to know that.
Yeah. So the TG is scheduled for May. Right after TG, we open up stake pools. It will take a few weeks to start earning these rewards. We want our players to earn rewards by staking the tokens right after TG, so we have some utility right off the bat. And in a few weeks after that, we will release the closed beta for the NFT holders, closed alpha for the NFT holders. That's our plan right now.
About like 2 months, I think, after TGE, basically. They're gonna have close like 2-3 months after the token sale. I think something like that.
Yeah. So we'll try to do our best to release it as early as possible. But yeah, as you know, those are events in the world that happened. We got a slowdown this month, but right now we're back on track and we're building up quickly.
Perfect. Thanks for your answers.
All right, thank you guys. Thank you very much for coming on board today. I hope I answered lots of your questions, and feel free to drop questions in the chat. Maybe I'll have time tomorrow to answer this stuff. So stay tuned for announcements.
Okay.
As I said, there will be a seed round opening next week on Launchpool Labs. There will be live playtest sessions for Gaming Guild package buyers next week. And there's a lot of stuff coming in next weeks as we start to roll out a big marketing push with the KOLs, YouTubers, and other guys.
Yeah, I mean, there's launch pads, KOLs, trying to aim for mass adoption as well. So I think the fully diluted market cap at public is going to be 15 million, which is pretty nice.
Yes.
But yeah, guys.
15 million fully diluted and
Yeah.
2,700K. It is the initial market cap, which is, I think, really healthy number, what we have.
Great. If you guys are from my Discord, I'll post a replay as well later. But hey guys, appreciate everyone coming through, and guys next AMA as well.
See you soon.